Hello. I'm having all sorts of forgetting how to podcast moments.
Really? Do you mean in the technical aspects or in the actually talking about something or nothing?
I mean, honestly, 6 of one, half a dozen.
Is it
of the
really?
Other, but definitely. I'm really struggling to remember how to plug in.
So do you feel like you're plugged in?
I think I'm plugged in. Let me just... Yeah, I am. Hang on. Hang about. Yeah, I am. I'm plugged in.
I think we could spend the next 25 minutes just checking, doing that. We could just do sound tests.
Testing. Sibilance. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay,
So,
you ready for a clap?
I'm so ready for a clap. This is a podcast in which two friends talk about the pleasures, absurdities, and imperfections of being human. I'm Simon Ellis.
And I'm Lee Miller. Welcome to Midlifing.
Oh, what a delight. What a delight to hear your voice.
Oh, what a delight to be heard, Simon. What a delight to be heard.
I like that you do that. I think most people would say, and a delight to hear your voice too, but you make it more about yourself.
I mean, why not? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, go for it.
Why
Go
hide
for it.
light
I mean,
under
this,
a bush?
I mean, it really should be called the Lee David Miller Show, shouldn't it?
I mean, no, because if you look at the waveform from last week's episode, quite apart from the fact that my audio is shocking, I can only apologise, everyone. I've no idea what happened.
It's just
you
me,
did a lot
me.
more talking than me.
Did I?
You were like mega rabbiting.
So you just cut yourself out of everything and left me in. Is that to make it seem like I was doing all the talking?
There wasn't actually that much of me talking.
Really?
Yeah, it was. It's good when you have
What were
when
we
there's a
talking
Simon
about?
Heavy chat. Oh, who can even remember?
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gone.
Listen,
It's gone. Actually, one of the things that we did talk about, or at least we talked about, I can't remember if I recorded it, was underpants.
yes, I looked for that photo.
Weirdly,
Boxer shorts. Did you cut it out?
I think I might have cut it out, but if I didn't, I can't remember. I've transitioned to boxers. I think I might have said this. No, it was definitely in there. And a week's experiment of boxering.
Over.
Ah!
Are you a new man? Have you found yourself a new man?
I have found myself a new man, and he wears boxer shorts.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I'm inspired. I think after this episode's over, I'm going to bike somewhere, or maybe no. You could just send me the link to the very expensive boxer shorts you've got wrapped around your innards. No, not your innards.
My
your outer
innards?
No, your mid
Nethers.
bits. Your little bits. No, your
My nethers.
yeah, your smalls. No, that's not right. Your
My
nethers.
nethers.
Thank you. Sorry, you said it 3 times, and I just kept
I
ignoring
did, and you were still just going like, no, I'm just going to go with things that will belittle Lee David Miller.
I did not mean. There was no intention on my part, Your Honour, to belittle you. Absolutely none. I was thinking about.
We've all
smalls.
seen you in performance.
No, you. Oh, come on! You have not. You have not. You dick swinger. You. Are you trying to steal my? Are you trying to steal my nickname, Clunk?
Right.
Good.
Simon.
Okay, so
Kennedy,
yes, you've got to
Ellis.
send me the links. You send me a link to your because I think mine need to be replaced. I've had them like 10 years and they are just falling apart. They're threadbare, baby.
Okay, I'm going to share with you the link, but not right now because I
Great.
don't want you on. I don't want you on air, as it were, to go. How much?
Just imagine, everyone, when I'm looking at the link, I'm going to go, no fucking way am I buying those. That's the way I think. Unless they're reversible, wear them both ways, then I think, 2 for the price of 1.
They're technical fibre and they can withstand the temperatures of Mars. I'll
And
buy
they're going to
them.
last 100 years.
Except
Or
for
until the
zipper.
zipper breaks.
Oh, it still makes me sad.
Oh, I'm glad you're getting, same here. What a joke.
Oh, okay.
You've got, go.
I was going to say, I've come to a point now in my life where I think I might have said everything that there is to be said about anything.
So should we stop? Should we? It's a wrap.
It wasn't about that, but I was sort of thinking. I was thinking about the idea of we sort of have hinted at this in a variety of ways, in that both of us have complicated jobs, but at the same time,
I think yours is more complicated than mine, frankly.
No, not really. I think we both have complicated jobs, and I think we both find ourselves going, what if? What's next? And I suppose I want to just hang around for a little minute with the idea of a second act.
A second act?
Yeah, is that what we're moving into, or are we moving into a twilight? When you think about the next stage, because you're in the middle of this like really big reno project, which, can I say, the photographs are giving me such joy.
It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? It's
super cool.
Super cool. Yeah, it's also I did because Lil got to see it, meaning with the walls down, and I did say to her, do you think we've made a mistake? Meaning, because it's money. It's a lot of money to spend on something that only existed in our heads.
Okay, can I ask a question? The mistake being to have a flat, or the mistake being to knock it around the way that you are doing?
The latter. I don't think it's a mistake to have a flat. I think it's the possibility of it. I don't think it's not a mistake to do what we've done, like our plans. But it was the first time she got to see the reality of it, and I said, "Was it a good call?" That kind of thing. Because it's not like either of us have had a lot of experience. In fact, either of us have had any experience, and although she's had a lot more to do with houses just because of the way her dad was, so she's thought a lot more about those spaces than I ever have.
But you've also lived in places. That's the thing, isn't it? You've never been responsible, but you've lived in places, so you know what.
Adapted to the way they are because we've only ever rented.
Okay.
Like the idea that I don't know. I mean, as we've joked about, I can't even. I've been carrying around a painting of my grandmother's for like 20 years. Never has it been hung up.
This leans against a wall.
It just leans against a wall. Tiger.
So I'm familiar with the work. Okay, so I'm sort of. Is this a swan song? Is this a second act? What is it? What do we do?
This you're referring to there?
The sense that we've both articulated that we don't feel like we're going to be in our jobs until we're 67. So lots of people will be thinking about retirement as in the age of retirement according to whatever legislation they are working towards in their country. And they might talk about early retirement, but that's probably a couple of years. But we're talking about, for you, probably a good 10 years, and by the time I get there,
not quite 10 years, but but closer to 10 than 5, that's for sure.
Yeah, and likewise, I think I'm looking at closer to 10 than 5. I think, although everything is changeable and all of that sort of stuff, but yeah, I'm just curious.
The problem for me is that I'm not really the sort of person that, like, if I was smarter or lazier or both, I would just quieten down and basically check out of work whilst continuing to take the paycheck. Like that, because then I could just focus all of my energy and all of my attention on the second act.
Yeah.
Which I think of as the retirement act. But I'm just not that kind of person, which is slightly frustrating. And so I'm now in a situation where I find myself going, this is not what I'm fully committed to, but I need to be committed to it.
Yeah.
Meaning, no, I want to be committed to it. So it's it's neither this nor that. So I don't quite know how to, that feels odd to me. It's like I'm slightly treading water, but treading water with complete commitment.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
I do see what you mean.
They don't go right. They don't go well together.
No, and I think that's the complexity of being of a certain age and also being without children.
Yes, I think that without children's a massive part of it, isn't it?
It is because, if we had kids, we would be factoring in when we needed to continue to have a steady income stream to get them through whatever window of development that we've committed mentally to supporting them through, and probably beyond what we've mentally committed to supporting them through.
Yes, that's right. And also I think, so you get that weird thing with people who are parents. Some of my best friends are parents, which is... I think I see a lot of living one's life by proxy, which I think it's a sort of a cliche, but it's a cliche for a good reason. That is, one's life becomes meaningful through the acts and lives of children, right? Mm. So we don't have that to fall. We don't have that to fall into, or to fall back to, or fall onto, or to. But then there's this other thing, which is. Yeah, it's not that. There's nothing there. So it's a little bit like I'm working or I'm not working. Yeah, I don't. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
No, it's okay. As you were saying that, I was just thinking about the other people who similarly don't have that opportunity to live vicariously or invest in a story that goes beyond them, which I think there's something quite beautiful about the idea of starting to build something that will extend beyond your life.
Yes, do you mean through children or through
children?
Yeah,
through children, yeah, because
it happens whether you like it or not.
Yeah, and I don't believe in notions of legacy. It's like, well, what does that even mean? What do you leave behind? Somebody that Bob and I worked with, Bob more closely than I, but we knew him socially, and Bob worked with him for a while. He died last week. He was old. So it wasn't sad in that sense, but it was just kind of like...
That was at Dartington, was it?
Yeah, it's a former Dartington colleague who also moved down to Falmouth, and it was just one of those things where you kind of go, "Wow, this is somebody who was like so incredibly pivotal in the life of both of those institutions." I mean, I cannot state how significant his impact was.
Can you say his name?
John Hall.
That's it.
Professor John Hall.
Yeah, my colleague spoke of him too, because he died, and spoke of how important he was.
Really, I mean, so incredibly important. Just everybody who spoke of him with like, wow, what kindness, what grace. And so often in the face of stuff, that like any institution goes through bumps, you kind of go, I'm not sure I would have been as generous as he was in that moment. I might have been a little bit more fill in the word here. But then I was just thinking about
impatient.
Yeah. I just found myself reflecting on how many lives he had touched and how small the ripple of his passing was in the institution. And of course that's the case, because he probably left there, 10 years ago. I think when Bob left Falmouth, he was in retirement and was sort of doing bits and pieces. So he was long removed, and there's like multiple regime changes in universities from the top all the way down. Yes,
it's like dog years, basically, university years, aren't they?
Absolutely. So the idea that I was chairing the research degrees committee, and I wanted to just honour his passing. In the any other business part, and I could see that there was maybe 3/4 of the people just looking at me going,
blank.
"What?
Yeah, right.
Who are we talking about?" And then 1/4 of the room just like eyes wet, hearts heavy, and just thinking about the smallness of our ripples. And so that idea of legacy, and obviously he has a family, and so there's all sorts of stuff as well. But that's why I don't really think about. Yeah, the idea of what you just said a minute ago sort of resonates for me when you said that I am fully committed to being half-arsed. You didn't say that, but you said it more.
It's
elegantly.
It's exactly. It's a little bit.
Or I'm half-arsed.
Fully committed to being in between is probably.
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
I feel like I'm in between.
And I definitely don't want to be thinking about my role at the institution I'm currently at, or if I were to go to another one, is the high point, is the thing that I will be remembered for. Because it's like, who's going to remember?
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't. I have a feeling that I I mean, that's one thing about being an educator, which, you've done much more of that than I have for longer, even though you and I are both more or less out of that now, except in PhD terms. It's which of course is a different kind of connection, much closer, much more like you're working kind of intimately with someone over a long period of time, which is so different from an undergrad. You might see them for a year or even 2 years, so there's something very different about that. But then I'm thinking about there's a footballer died this week.
Oh yeah, Portuguese boy, very sad. Died in a car accident in Spain.
It's exactly right. It's Diogo Jota.
Jota.
Well done, you. And his funeral's this morning as we're recording. And he was 28 and he was driving in a car. In what sort of car? A Lamborghini, of
Lamborghini,
course.
with his brother, who was also a professional footballer. Exactly. Just got married to his long-term love.
2
they
weeks.
had 3 little kids.
The tragedy. It's just, there's no two ways about it. And yet there's also something about it which is, when you talk about John Hall's death and I'm just going to say the smallness of it. I don't mean that with any.
I understand
the kind of the way in which it's contained, and the over the topness of a footballer who's died suddenly or died prematurely, or however you want to describe it. Surprise in an accident, and so there's something about the imbalance there, which of course speaks volumes about football / soccer
and celebrity more generally.
Yeah, it's just, and so there's that kind of, I've been thinking a lot about that, and feeling really sad just for his young family and his his wife, but there's also this part of me which is like, oh, really, do we have to spend so many resources, so much energy on a guy who just kicked a ball around? As opposed to John Hall, who, as you said, was just slowly working with people, giving. All that Diogo Jota did was he kicked a ball around really well. Doesn't mean he wasn't a lovely man, etc. Wasn't a fat, all those things. But very different from the kind of slowness and care and patience that John Hall lived his life with and for others. And yet, as you say,
I guess there's also something there, isn't there, about the relative reach, in that we're saying that, and you're saying that as somebody who's a committed football fan.
I think of myself as a reluctant football fan, but yes, I'm more committed to my in-between job than I am to being a football supporter.
But I'm not interested in football at all, as has been.
That you even knew about this actually was shocking to me.
Yeah,
it shows you how far it reaches that kind of incident.
Well, I've got to be really honest. The reason it reached me is because it's in my Portuguese news aggregator. So I find out about it because he's Portuguese, not because he's a footballer.
So if he'd been Spanish, you wouldn't have known.
Wouldn't have known about it. I would have gone, oh, really? That's sad. As opposed to going, oh, I know he's got 3 kids and he's just got married 2 weeks, because of course that's the thing. You latch on to the things that become interesting to you.
Yeah.
And I just suppose it's about the reach and the joy and the anxiety and the factionalism and all of those things that make us connect to and hate and love in those sorts of moments. That, of course, the moment that somebody is no longer there, that all sort of disappears. I don't know. But as you say, John's life was quieter, smaller, slower, and contained, but perhaps deep and rich. I'm not suggesting that this other guy's life wasn't deep or rich, but the exchange, the interpersonal exchanges. I don't know. It's so shit, isn't it, to try and do relative comparisons between loss, and that's not, I think, what either of us were trying to do.
Yeah, I think I probably was actually.
Oh,
I don't. Well, it came to mind. I'm not. I think, as they say there, I want to say that they're odorous, but they're odious. Comparisons are for sure odious, and this is. So I agree, but I think I was making a kind of a.
See, I think I wasn't. I wasn't. I was coming at it both in the terms of legacy, that they both have children to leave behind, so there is legacy in that sense, and we don't. That's where I was coming at it. So the idea of the smallness or the containedness of the ripples of John's passing makes me go, oh, and I probably won't even be as mourned as John.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is the next question, isn't it? Which is, well, let's assume that both of us, one of us is going to die first.
Yeah.
Let's assume
That's
that,
true.
unless we do some kind of death pact thing together on a final episode, who would upload it then? Tricky. Anyway, they died at exactly the same time. What? And let's assume that the ripples are going to be incredibly contained for both of us.
Yeah.
What is it, or how is it that you, classic question, would like to be remembered?
Oh, I walked into that one, didn't I? I've got no idea.
I mean, you sure did.
Yeah, because I'm. I think I'm less interested in that narrative about how I will be remembered. I don't think I'm interested in the question of legacy so much as, if this is my second act or if this is my twilight, what am I doing that gives it purpose for me, not for anybody else? Because there is nothing that's left behind except somebody writing probably a small piece that will go on some kind of website that will acknowledge that I once was in this place, but now I'm not, and, survived by 12 dogs and a donkey, whatever the fuck. And, it's just like...
I mean, we've got to talk about your donkey next episode.
I don't have a donkey.
So I guess I asked, how would you like to be remembered? But of course, then there's the question of how do you think you will be remembered? And then, which are two different questions. And are you effectively, would you be evading, not evading in a negative sense, but thinking it's not important to you? Either of those things are not important to you.
If I start to try to project on how I would be remembered by others, then I think I would stop living authentically.
Here.
And I find it difficult enough to do that as it is. I spend enough of my time worrying that I've upset people while I'm alive. Worrying what they think about me after I've gone. Nah, I've got no bandwidth.
Too big.
It's just too much. There's multiple people that you work with over the course of a week, and that you just think, oh God, I've really disappointed them, or they.
It happened to me at least 3 times this week, and I can just in my head I can go that one.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
why
you
did I say that? Kind of going, exactly. Or, they needed that
so
from
clumsy.
me, and I couldn't hear that that's what they needed. And it's just like, that already takes up enough of my fucking brain without me thinking, will they lay flowers on my grave? Probably not, because they'll just be thinking, he didn't respond to that email in a timely manner. Or he was a little bit mean when he asked. Yeah, so I'm just like, can't be asked.
Yeah, I like that you're calling them small whilst also being frustrated with yourself at the same time. They couldn't rise they could rise above the smallness of their own lives to send you send Bob flowers as a mark of in memory of your remarkable life, yelling into a microphone.
But here we are, moving away from the question, which is all about. What are we doing? What are we doing,
I'm totally when I think about, okay, I think there's a simple thing, which is when you're sitting at home at night and you're going, what is it the thing that you turn to do, which clearly brings pleasure? It's not like you're going, I have to do that, blah, 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 right? It's something that you go, I want to spend my time doing this. And I'm not talking about, I'm going to sit in front of the TV and watch TV, because that's more like something happening to you. And I think those things are quite clear to me, and I would like to spend more time doing those things.
Making bread.
Yeah, pretty much. I used to get up during meetings and stretch, and I remember doing it I can't remember what space it was, and people just being a little bit weirded out by the idea that someone would get up and stretch during a meeting. It just seems like the most natural thing to do, personally. But
spent so long with you lot. By you lot, I mean dancers, and it's so normal in those spaces for people to just carry on talking, get up, just drop into a nice gentle forward fold, or put their hands on the table. All of those sorts of things. It's so rare to see in any other context, and it becomes like a policing And you can see people get more and more uncomfortable and less and less able to just go, I think I'm just going to stretch.
What do you think they're uncomfortable with?
The idea of that people...
Sorry, physically uncomfortable.
Yeah. But yeah.
Sorry, they're uncomfortable. The people are uncomfortable with seeing other people do it, or that physically they're getting uncomfortable, so they have to stretch?
Well, I was actually meaning people are getting more and more physically uncomfortable, but not attending to the fact that they are in discomfort because they are uncomfortable about the idea that if you stand up, people are immediately going to go, why are you drawing focus?
Or you'd have to, or you just make up thinking if you do got to go to the toilet.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, oh, God, you can't, why have you gone to the toilet 3 times in a 2-hour meeting?
Yeah, it's the least drawing focus thing I can imagine doing personally, but I can also understand why it would be perceived as drawing focus.
You have spent your entire life working with body-based practitioners.
Yeah, yes, that's true. I'm very used to bodies.
Yeah, and most people aren't. Most people don't have bodies.
And it's a tragedy.
Oh, so sad. So sad.
We should stop there, huh?
Oh, for sure.
See ya.